What's up, y'all? It's Ty. In this video today, we're going to be going over talking about the gameplay update coming to, or that is in NBA 2K26 MyTEAM, what it means, and just kind of how to approach this moving forward. Now, this update I think already has taken place in the game. I haven't played the game at all to really notice how this update has affected the game, but I'm going to be talking about it in specifically to my team, because obviously, you know, if you played Park, if you played Pro-Am, you know, like the 7-4 builds were a problem. Like they literally ran the game and they were basically impossible to contest. Now I would say this, if I had a my player and let's say I spent VC on a 7-4 build that was the best build in the game, I've always felt some type of way about them patching things after that, because then what? Like if your build isn't good anymore, then like what, you gotta buy a new build? I don't necessarily love that, but again, that's just kind of my thoughts on things. But let's take a look at this and how it affects my team specifically. So 2K said, we will be releasing an update that makes the following improvements to contest coverages based on gameplay data and community feedback. Slightly reduce the impact of height mismatches on contest coverage. Shorter defenders can now generate slightly stronger contests against taller shooters. Now let's break down that first one specifically, because like for me, if you have like a tall player, let's just say like a Kevin Durant, a Jack Sigma, I even know in play now, it was kind of a problem early on as well. If you got a mismatch, you could just shoot over them. Now, I still think, like, for example, if somebody switches Chris Paul onto Jack Sigma and they don't jump at me, I should get an open shot, okay? If they jump, then that's a different story. But if they're not willing to jump at me, it should still be an open shot. So you just got to kind of find the balance with this. Obviously, like for 7-4s, if somebody jumps at them, they should get a contest. And if somebody's like 6'8" or above with their hand up, then obviously I think they should get a contest. It's going to be kind of a test type of process. But if guys like Chris Paul are usable, if height's not as important, well then guess what? It's going to change the way things are done. Like for me, I run Pascal Siakam at the 4 right now. And if he's able to contend with, you know, the bigs of the world, like, you know, I don't know, like the Shaqs, for example, and it's more on perimeter contest. But if he can contend with those type of guys, and even, you know, for me, if I can run, I don't know, a Jason Kidd for longer, that would be super helpful. Because even for Jason Kidd, there's times people could just shoot over him, and it would be a lightly, but it definitely would be annoying at times. So we'll see how that obviously is implemented. My team specifically, it should allow you to run smaller players and get away with it. So think Steph Curry, think Chris Paul, might be able to run those smaller players and ultimately get away with it. Next up, slightly increase the effectiveness of strong contests, okay? Well-positioned and well-timed contests will further narrow the shooter's green window more than before. So, what does this mean? This means that if you get a strong contest, so think like 45% for a lightly or like red, okay? Think strong contest, a really good contest. It is going to be tougher to make those shots. Now, I'm even thinking back to yesterday during the day. I mean, when I was playing in King of the Court, I was hitting like 45%. I mean, I was. Not consistently, I wouldn't say, but like those shots went in probably more than they should have. Now, again, what is the definition of strong contest? I think that is really the question to be asked here, because like if a strong contest is a 20-some%, then obviously that changes things. But I really would want to know what a strong contest is. Does that mean it has to be a red? Does that mean, you know, it just, you know, any contest is gradually nerfed the green window a little bit? Because I will say it has been so far really easy to, it's been really easy to knock down somewhat contested shots. But I also think like a lot of the problem that I see with this is, guess what? Like fades are still impossible to contest really. And so if it's impossible to contest, I don't know how, you know, this is going to really work. So it'll just kind of be an interesting thing to monitor here, like how this actually does work. Is it, you know, does it work like it should? And in those types of things. I gotta say, guys, nervous to test this patch out, because I feel like this is our first patch gameplay wise that we have seen, And I feel like it's really hard for 2K to not overdo it. It's really hard for them to drop a patch that's not going to break the game. And this is more of a patch for like the Park and Pro-Am community. But my question is this. Not once in here do I see anything about bump steals. Not once in here do I see anything about things that I actually think needed nerfed. If you're going to nerf anything, why are we not nerfing fades? I mean, fades are so overpowered on this game. The fades have a bigger green window than set shots. It just, honestly, it does not make a whole lot of sense to me, you know, what I'm reading here. And you guys can see no changes have been made to shooting difficulty, shooting mechanics, or any other gameplay systems. We will continue to monitor games across various modes and skill levels. So, again, it leads me to the whole point of, like, again, they're not gonna drop any gameplay or you know, any shooting patches, but yet they're dropping patches to height, which I get for Park, but for my team, honestly, for my team wise, my team specifically, it wasn't that big of a deal, I didn't think. And then again, it says no changes have been, or slightly increased effectiveness of strong contests, which I don't mind. I'm just eager to see what that actually does look like in the game. Like, again, is that just for red contests? What does that actually look like? It's really what I'm trying to figure out here. So it is really our first gameplay patch. I am going to play the game a little today and just see, you know, how does this affect the game? Does it affect it negatively? Does it affect it positively? And again, how to just kind of go about the game from here moving forward. But to me, it is what it is. I don't think either of these patches should be like game breaking, really, for the MyTEAM community. Again, we'll just kind of have to wait and see how often they are going to drop patches from here moving forward. Because, again, if they're not willing to, like, patch fades and they're patching this, and they're not willing to give us bump steals and they're patching this, I just think this is really like a Pro-Am Park specific patch, which obviously it is what it is. I'm not saying it didn't need to be done, but I genuinely feel bad for everybody that you know, made the build specifically for that just, you know, that didn't work out. So I mean, it is, you know, it is what it is for all the people that have to make a new build. I'm sorry. I apologize for you. That's obviously not any fun for you. But it is what it is for the MyTEAM community. Jack Sigma probably isn't going to be quite as good shooting over people, right? But I mean, it is what it is. I feel like for the MyTEAM community, there's not a lot of people that used it. The only other thing is slightly increase the effectiveness of strong contests. So people should not be hitting reds against you. Like, literally should not be hitting reds. And I think that's important because, like, if somebody had a device, right, like Zens are a problem on this game, they were able to green strong contests and it wasn't a problem at all. So hopefully it does nerf that even more. But that is going to wrap it up for our video. Let me know your thoughts on the gameplay update down below in the comments, guys. Drop a like on the video, subscribe if you are new, and as always, man, I love you guys, and have a blessed day.